I'm Evelyn, and I'm a geoholic.
Okay.
Let's do this.
We've got Andre with us this morning, first up out of the gate. Looking forward to this conversation. Andre, real quick, just to do a self-introduction, give us your name, who you work for, and kind of what you do.
Morning, guys. My name is Andre Louca. I work for Correvate. I'm the CEO of Correvate. And I'm here in Berlin at Intergeo with my team and looking forward to meet a lot of people and expose the product to the world.
And so, tell us about what the product is. What's the company?
Perfect. So the product is called Vercator and is a cloud platform to process point cloud data.
Okay.
We started a while ago. So we are a spin-off from University College of London. We are a British company, London-based. And the initial IP was coming out of university focused mainly on registration. And what we found at that time, it was around 2017, was that the limitation that people were facing was around how are people going to register the data and not how they're going to capture. Because nowadays with drones and new fancy gear, you can generate lots of data, lots of points. But the problem is how you're going to register all that data locally with your own desktop.
Sure.
That is the challenge nowadays. And so because of that, we developed a new IP, specific IP around registration. And then we went to the cloud where you can use cloud computing and have 100 computers just cranking your data.
Okay.
And you can do it instead of 2 weeks of registration, you can do it in 6 hours or even less. So
Wow.
that's lots of improvements for our customers
Huge.
in terms of efficiency.
Yeah.
Then, so this was on the registration side. Then we also created a new service on the classification side, so segmentation, classification, they are similar. And since then, we've been applying AI and machine learning to automatically classify everything from a house to power lines and a big stretch of land or aerial mapping, roads, and so on. It has been a really exciting journey so far. And
Sure.
Yeah.
So is this a patented technology?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And so customers will gather all the data, upload to your
customers
cloud servers, and it magically happens all up in the cloud and spits out what they want.
Yes, kind of. That is our goal, and our goal is to make our users' life as easier as possible. We want our philosophy is to have a big button saying, go, done.
Yeah, okay.
That is the idea. We don't want settings and lots of complex workflows. We want simplicity, and that is our goal. We want our customers to be limited for how much they can scan and capture and not for how much they can process. That is the motto.
Okay.
And so if you want to get more projects, more churn, just get more surveyors. This is what the limitation should be, and not how much you can process. That is the goal. And we've been achieving a lot of workflows and interesting use cases where customers they are on site scanning and registering, and they are also at the same time uploading to the cloud. As soon as they leave the site, they press go. When they get to the office, the data is already registered, so there is no downtime. And this is where we start shaving time from the whole workflow and get massive improvements everywhere.
Yeah. So how does it do it? Like, how does it register automatically?
So we use the graph network, so the connections between scans, by proximity, and then we use cloud-to-cloud registration because we have a specific patent that is around that how we do it. We have two steps. One is kind of a coarse alignment, and then we have a fine registration, and it gets 2 millimeter accuracy. And we get really good results, not just in small projects, because small projects, we can compete with other manufacturers. But when you go for big stuff, that's where we really shine. So we have projects around 1,200 scans that we've processed instead of 2 weeks, as I was saying. Well, we've done it in less than 6 hours. So that's really impressive.
That is.
Yeah.
So you mentioned working with surveyors. What if a surveyor wants to set control and to tighten up the point clouds, I guess.
Yeah, so that's a really important point because we have a lot of power users. We have quite a variety of users that are just coming straight out university. They just want an easy life, and there's a big button there, press go, done. Or you have the power users that they need to feel the control, and they really get perfection to that, which you really appreciate that challenge. So in that case, we have the targets. We can apply the targets and register based on the targets also. So that's really, really good, and can deliver a better result if needed.
So talk a little bit about the company. How long has it been around, and when did you guys start?
So it was around 2017.
Okay. And go ahead.
What was your background?
So my background is computer science and machine learning.
Ah, okay. Of course, right.
Did you have any surveying background?
Not at all.
Not at all.
And this is a really interesting path that when I got here, like I got high, so I started in the company as CTO, and I got there like, wow, what is happening here? Like E57, LAS, LAZ, like so many acronyms. I have no clue what people are talking about. It took me 2 years to understand what was going on, and I don't think that people should go through the same learning curve, or at least as much as long as I had to. And so when I've designed the product, and because we refactored the product, so now we have a really simplified UI and product. As I was saying, big button kind of philosophy. Yeah. The idea is that people don't need to go through that learning curve because it's so simple. And actually, we start seeing like top surveyors that hired more junior people for their companies, and they love Vercator just because they don't need to. Well, they can get that person up and running really, really fast.
Sure. All right.
Wow. So what is the business model? Is it a subscription type service or is it a per project?
So it's volume based. So basically, it's per million points.
Okay.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is really an important point that I think that you're raising is we want our customers to understand how much they're going to be charged. And they might not know precisely how much the area they are covering or like the stretch of road, or it might get really complex because classification, our service is applicable to many different use cases. But they can change the settings, the resolution that they want, and that is always guaranteed. And so they're going to know how many million points they have to process and also how much is going to be the bill.
So is there any risk or is there any concern if by that model, then you really got to know how many points you want to get, and you just don't want to, for example, scan everything because it matters how much data you're collecting, right? It's not just scan everything and figure it out later. You got to go in with my budget is 700 million points, so I need to go and scan and make all the settings to get specifically that amount. Is that kind of how the idea works?
We work closely to our customers to make sure that we deliver success for them. So when we work hand to hand, of course, there's a lot of coaching, and we'll try to understand and support them in order to achieve that success.
Sure.
So we adapt really quickly to their needs, and so we can change things if needed.
And the website is very user-friendly. It's awesome.
Yes.
So I'm checking out right now. And then
okay.
It's Vercator.com, Vercator.com. And it's even got a project calculator.
Yes.
Which is super
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
And you can kind of plug in what you think your project's going to entail, and very reasonably priced, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Nice.
I'm shocked.
So what else do you want to get out there? What are you excited about?
And I think that is a really important point. So with that pricing calculator, we try to shock the market. The idea was, look, we are here to process data as fast as we can, and we don't want the pricing to be a barrier. Just use it in anger, try it, and see for yourself how good it is.
Right, okay.
So, and if you can do an average project of maybe, let's say, 50 scans in less than 2 hours from the moment that you finish capturing and then you deliver it to your customer, well, that's what we can do. And with that pricing, it's just unbeatable.
Wow.
It absolutely is. I mean, and it's by volume then at that point for you
yes,
guys.
yes. We are seeing around with that summer discount that we had.
Yeah.
It was around $50 for the whole project, which registration, which is unbeatable.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game changer.
It is definitely.
Well, at that level, then, your staff can't look at it for $50, much less to process anything. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
It really is. Really is. Good.
Yeah. What else? Anything else you want to get out there, or excited about coming up, or?
Yeah. So we have also important to understand on the philosophy of the product. It kind of is to be a whole workflow on the platform, so Vacated.cloud. And the idea is to be a one-stop shop. So you import your data. Doesn't matter in terms of doesn't matter the format of the point cloud. For us, a point cloud is a point cloud.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can register, you can unify it, you can then classify it, and then you can export it if you want, or you can just share with your customer the link that they can access and see the data. So, and that's how we can achieve 2-hour processing time for the whole project. And that is game changer for the customer. As long as they stay in the platform, they can shave off lots of time.
Lots of time.
Right.
Yeah. And talk about the support, the customer support.
The customer support is great. So we are all the time getting in communication with customers. Sometimes they don't get in contact with us. They are not raising support tickets.
Yeah.
Actually, we are getting back to them and asking, how is it going? Is the project okay? Can we get any feedback? Is there anything that you don't like that we can improve for you and make it even more efficient? This is really important. We are still a small company looking forward to grow, and the idea here is we need to be humble and understand everything is going to have a way to be better. How can we be better? How can we support our customers in a better way? And that's what we're here for.
Yep.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Andre, really appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been great to
thanks
meet
for
you.
everything.
Yeah. Very excited about your product here.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, we've got Neil with us next up this morning.
Yeah.
They're fast and furious.
We ran into Neil yesterday. Everyone said, hey, you have to talk to this guy, and he was nice enough to give us a couple minutes. So real quick, introduction, name, who you're with, what you do, and take it from there.
Neil Vancans, kind of probably described mostly as an industry veteran at this time.
That's what I heard, yes.
Great description.
It's you kind of wither when you hear that. And I've been coming here since the mid-'80s. And I guess it's true. We're becoming man and boy kind of thing. So, and I got here originally. I was working with Louca. I became a management board member at Louca until 2002, I guess. And then shortly after that, I did some consultancy briefly, and I started my own company called Altus, which some people will remember.
Yep.
It's the first integrated cell phone UHF, which all sounds very old hat now.
Right.
But at the time, it was kind of...
especially at a place like this, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And then I moved from there. That company merged with Septentrio, and I became VP of Sales at Septentrio until January of this year, and then I retired out and became more active. doing
funny how that happens.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Doing my own business. But it's been a great career in this industry. It's a wonderful industry. You've met a lot of people in it. Already.
Sure.
And it's very addictive. You can't get away from it, really. Because I think within this environment, everything you do between companies is relationship based. So you form relationships. You're in the relationship, whether products come and go.
Yeah.
Right.
Relationships remain. If they had any value in the first place, they remain. And so my relationships remain despite the fact that I certainly don't have a product to sell, but I now help other people sell their
Well, you're the product.
Well, now
you're the product.
In this context, I'm the product.
Yeah,
exactly. It's my company. And I divide my company into, I have 4 areas of kind of business, right? So one is business development, and so I help some countries, work on that, I'll have to get that one a shot, get into markets or expand their reach into markets by finding new customers, and at the top end of that it becomes strategic partnerships, and I kind of prefer that end than door-to-door kind of selling. I don't really do that, but opening the gateway into strategic partnerships is a good thing. And I have two companies in that area. That's GeoNet, who you probably know. That's a company that's reapproaching the base station correction market.
Okay.
So we can go into that more if you want later. Work with Talisman, who make antennas, a Canadian-based company.
Yep.
Fabulous growth rate, and probably the broadest range of antennas for precise positioning that are available. So they're pretty cool. So that's good. And then I do that's business development. I do organizational development, so I'll go and work with a company to try and not actually sell their products, but help them to shape themselves in order that they can sell products.
Sure, okay.
So, and that can be a big job or a small job. And then I do some M&A stuff.
Yeah.
When people need that. That's kind of an extension of the strategic partnership thing in the beginning, but it's one of those things that you can't talk about too much. But one I think that's going to be very big, if not for me, certainly for the industry. I think we're approaching that point where there'll be more changes of ownership within the industry. We've seen Trimble Ag division get sold to AGCO. We've seen CNH buy Hemisphere. We've seen Topcom buy Satel. There's actually, so it doesn't sound very much when each one of those happens. Actually, you look at the horizon, I think there's quite a lot more
consolidation.
There's more consolidation. And probably disposal. There are companies who, recognizing that divisions they've got don't really match the growth rates that they've promised their shareholders, and so they're better off in a different portfolio, so they'll move those out. That will happen.
Yeah.
And then I have a fourth area of business, which is really just supporting buddies like Raymond at APGLOS.
Oh, yeah.
Some other companies who I think should be more established in the marketplace or can do a lot more than they're currently doing, and basically I just do that for fun. So I have one group that's really great. They make computer vision and AI products that sit behind scan data, enable semantic description, a definition and identification of product to speed. We collect a lot of data now.
Sure, yeah.
Tons
Data
of data.
collection, we're really efficient at that, man.
Yeah.
We collect data. And there it becomes a problem. So what you got to do is then ship it into something where you can actually understand what it is, manipulate it, use it, and move it on to something else. So that's a fun project for me, because it's people I've worked with, young guys who can at least ask me my opinion and then avoid using it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think
If I let them.
you just kind of answered the question I was going to ask you. Right now, like you said, we can collect a ton of data, and in a variety of different ways. Do you see then that the software is now catching up to that, that massive amount of data and the ability to process it?
It's not an area in which I am really expert, and my gut feeling is that software is still some way behind being able to automate the capture and identification of semantic data in order to then use it for different purposes downstream of the initial capture. Usually there's a focal point for the initial capture, but they capture a lot more data, don't necessarily classify the data, so it's not easily retrievable afterwards to use for something else. We captured all light poles, but we didn't capture the drain covers, and how do we go back and bring them? But if that was automated in process, then that would all be a lot easier to reuse the data. And I think that will happen. I think nobody's throwing this data away, so you can always go back to it.
But that's what everybody sells is, you can, if you're going to go here, you can capture this, and you'll also get everything else, so why not do that? But if you're not actually doing anything with it, going back years later and trying to go back and classify,
it's really difficult.
It seems like a step that they're not counting on.
It's the analog equivalent would be you go back to a notebook that you wrote 3 years ago and try and find what were those notes about. You don't remember, right? And I think it's true even with digital data that you get the same kind of problem. You can't identify the objects. Because at the moment they just sit there as not even a shape, but a partial cloud, right? And it's hard to tell whether it was a door handle or something else. And it becomes awkward. So data management, I think, is a big area that the industry will move forward in the future. Because I think the product definition, I used to get a company who's producing digital data, they do it for a specific purpose, and those purposes will grow.
Yep. And then artificial intelligence is going to play a huge role in that.
Really huge. So the people who are on top of that are the people who are going to make bring the biggest efficiencies to the use of data in the future.
Yep.
Yeah, so who's going to get left out in this next 10 or 5-10 years? Like you said, some of this consolidation, the guys that aren't jumping on the AI wagon. What else do you see that aren't catching up?
Well, I think we're coming to a point where we consumerize a lot of technology. And that's we've been able to say that for probably quite a long time, but it becomes more and more true. I mean, you see here over 70 different brands of GNSS product.
Right.
Much of it is actually the same product.
Packaged up a little differently.
It's a bit of an ICL. It can't last.
Yep.
Kind of thing. It just can't happen. And what will happen is that one way or another, those people who manage to drive successfully into volume verticals will be the ones who dominate. But it won't be driven by the underlying GNSS technology. Will be driven by who manages the user application and the user interface better, and that's where the value added is.
Yeah. So if everyone's got the same guts, it's who can present it the best is who's gonna survive.
Because you get the chipsets now that GNSS products are built from. One of the major manufacturers' cost price is less than $5 a unit. For a high precision unit, and they sell over 2 million units a year, and therefore it's kind of pervasive. So you'll build a product around that because it's the lowest unit cost that you can get hold of, and you know that you can add the value somewhere else and then make the money and penetrate the market. You don't need to spend the money on the research for the modules.
So you said you've been coming here for how many to this event for how many years?
I can't remember, but mid-80s. So we're coming up for 40 years.
40 years.
I was telling myself.
I think, Neil, you skipped a decade there.
I never good at math.
So I can only imagine what the changes you've seen in that course of that time.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I dread to think. And when I first came, we were talking about the first electronic theodolite total station type products. Those were
awesome.
Things moved on. I mean, I was involved in buying Syra for Leica, which was the first step into the laser scanning market.
Yep.
You think this huge, great, big black box with single pixel device, and we were the only people who really had anything like that. But now you walk around and 70% of the surveying today is done by either an airborne or a terrestrial scanner. So the actual proportion of sales taken by total stations and things like that, and GPS for that matter, has gone down considerably. Not that necessarily the unit volume has gone down on those products, but the volume of work being done is done by another method.
Yep.
And that's changed the complexion of the industry. That's why we sit here talking about data management.
Right, yeah.
Because you wouldn't have to talk about data management if you capture it with a total station. There wouldn't be that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Your problems would be, did I code that a tree or a bush? So that really kind of typifies it. That typifies it.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing thing. I mean, we come from that basic philosophy that what every object that you can see, it's only discrete, truly discrete thing, is where it is. And from that tiny piece of philosophy stems a whole information management system, and underpins the survey industry. And not just the survey industry, but it's logically extended into design and GIS and the other adjacencies, which were peripheral. I mean, GIS was, when I first came, it was kind of that looks kind of cool. What's that Mr. Dangerman doing with that PC? He did have a PC-based system. Like we had System 9, which was based on some huge DEC machine or something like that. It was, I can't remember. I was involved with that as well. But, and that's probably one of the most amazing rises, is that whole ecosystem of data management products. And I think Esri, AutoCAD typify that.
Oh yeah.
So they wouldn't have been here in '85, but by '90 they were here, and in the '90s they started sharing a booth with Leica. Now then that didn't kind of work out, so they moved on and do it a different way. But it's a fascinating time.
How has this technology changed the business? as a whole? Because I'm thinking back, like that scanner, that original scanner you mentioned. I remember that thing cost. How much did that cost? When it came out?
150 grand.
150 grand. And it was like this 100-pound, like I don't know how much it weighed, but it took
at
like
least 100 grand.
two people
Two
to
boxes,
get it up.
a couple of camels.
Yeah, right.
You seem to go through the camel marks the trajectory of the development of the business, because for the high precision theodolites like a T4 in the old days, that was also in 3 or 4 boxes you had to put on a camel. Then the scanner comes, you have to 3 or 4 boxes, you put that on a scanner. So who's going out of business is the camels.
That's right.
Everything's reduced.
Everything is reduced. Yeah, it takes less to do more. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm also interested in the part of what you're doing now, the organizational development. Kind of something that comes up on the show a lot is surveyors, and then the people in this space are really good at, like I said, collecting data, doing all the things. They're really poor at managing business and understanding how to manage a business and how to have a structure in a company. Talk a little bit about what you provide in that space.
Well, a couple of things before I do that. While I think about in the background, I'll talk about in the foreground. You said that GIS was a business that arose more or less out of survey, right? But surveyors let a good business like GIS slip away.
Oh, we talk about that all the time. There was a point.
Surveyors are more interested in data capture than data management, and the values in data management. We just try and cut our own throats.
Yeah.
Right.
Capturing data and doing it cheaper and cheaper all the time until, if 10 people are bidding on a contract, one of them does it at a loss, and you have 10 contracts, you guarantee that every one of the contracts is done at a loss. So surveyors cut themselves out of business and didn't do great movement there.
Yep.
So no, for me it's more of a management consultancy type of role. So I'll go into business and I'll coach on leadership. I'll coach younger people going through the process, and we'll set up structures within a company that just make it more efficient. I don't work so much on the survey side, but on the distribution of survey products and manufacturing through to distribution. So the actual survey side, it's a long time since I did that. I did do that before I joined Louca. Yeah. That was my job. But I don't do that.
I was curious, what was your original background, and how did you first get in?
I did a master's degree in surveying at University College London, and then I did, and then I went to work for. I went to work for Louca shortly. I went to work as a land surveyor, and I did that for a few years, and it's great fun. And I can understand exactly why people just get addicted to it and do it, and spend 30 or 40 years. We send people to Saudi and Qatar and places like that, and they'd be there for 5 or 6 years. They'd come home for a month, a year, and then they'd just go back again and make piles of cash, and they'd find a place to party when they were over there, and that was the life at that time. And now we don't tend to be, those jobs don't tend to be done by surveyors out of Western Europe anymore. Right. They tend to be done by locals or people who are more efficient.
Yep.
Right.
So that's a big change in the industry also.
Yep. So when you look back on your career, and you've had a great career, it's been very rewarding, obviously, and you're very well respected in the industry. What were some of the keys to your success?
Wow. I think the thing that stands out in an early phase is one of the CEOs of then Louca was a guy called Marcus Rao, and he made all of his. I was running the UK at the time, and he made everybody spend a certain amount of time, like 25% of your time. You weren't supposed to be running the company. You were with clients, understanding the client's problem. Not how he did his surveying, but what were the problems in his business and how did that business progress forward. So, and I think learning that lesson was really, really kind of key. If you can focus on how you solve that problem for the customer and how you use product to solve that problem, or service, or whatever it is, and then you can encourage then other people to do it, then you have a way of bringing benefits to your customer's business. You can make them more successful working with you, and learning that lesson was probably the first thing that got me over an initial kind of hurdle, and that was good. I enjoyed that. The next thing was never grow an ego on someone else's money. I mean, that's
I love that. I gotta write that down.
That's always a good thing. It's very easy to become a big guy, but it's very easy to become a small guy quickly afterwards too. So
Right.
A little humility goes a long way.
Absolutely.
In increasing your ability to understand other people's situations.
Sure.
I think.
Yep. Do a lot of
That's the
listening,
biggest
right?
thing. Yeah.
A lot of listening.
Yeah, don't listen to the sound of your own voice. It ain't that great.
Well, talking to two guys who do it all the time, right?
Well, I'm sure you don't go home and listen to your own podcast. At night.
Absolutely not. No, it's the last thing I want to do, actually.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So wrapping up here, what are you excited about going forward? I mean, I know you're going to come here for forever, right? What are you excited about in the industry?
It's kind of interesting. Well, let me go back to something. I'll push something I'm actually working on at the moment because it's an exciting project. So I like the GeoNet project. That's a project where you take a low-cost infrastructure, financed by the people who buy base stations. They get paid for providing the data into the GeoNet network, and allows the subscription price to be very low. Why do I like that? Because it kind of democratizes the availability of accuracy. So you get a very low cost for the correction, and that matches the lowering of the cost of the rovers. Because if you think about it, it's kind of crazy. You see this price war with rovers; they go down and down and down. I can walk out of here and get you a rover for $150. Well, if I can get a rover for $150. Why would you pay $1,500 for the RTK correction? You won't do it, will you?
Right. Yeah.
So as we move positioning into products, and lawnmowers is a big push at the moment. All the manufacturers love to put their GNS products into lawnmowers, robotic lawnmowers. Well, the bill of materials for lawnmowers is $200 or $300. They sell for $700, $800, $900. They're not going to pay $1,500 for an RTK correction, but they do want RTK. They are buying RTK, so they're going to look for ways to lower the price of that. So I think the GeoNet initiative is a great initiative, and I put a lot of time and effort into that. Actually, probably a good idea if you could do a podcast with Mike Horton, the guy who developed it. He's a cool guy, and he's developed a lot of INS technology stuff. He's developed a silicon fob gyro, which he's got here, which is very groundbreaking, low cost, high accuracy, really high accuracy. So that's, I'm excited to be working in that environment and trying to bring those things to the market, because I think it's tremendous social benefit. You know the efficiencies that you get through accuracy. You can produce more food at lower cost, right?
Right.
That kind of thing. Those are social benefits. So if we're at the stage where we can produce products that bring social benefits, then I think that's a fun thing to be involved with.
Absolutely.
So I enjoy that.
Yeah.
So that's a good wrap up.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And I'm looking at the GeoNet website right now, and I mean, this is amazing. And I like the business model with the tokens. Yeah. Great. This is
because everybody who has a base station is an owner, basically.
Yeah.
You become an owner. But tokens are shared like a share. But it's only a foundation that's based on the value of its tokens. So you hold the tokens, you're a shareholder. Yeah, I think I could get in trouble for saying that, but
interesting.
Yeah, financially, but it's true, and it's a completely different model, and that's the kind of exciting. That's the interesting thing about it, I think.
Right.
Yep. GeoNet.com, by the way.
Nice.
Well, sir, we appreciate your time.
Neil, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
Well, I wonder what we're going to talk about next time.
I think we could go on. I think you hit on about 4 more episodes for us that we could really dive into, but we really appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Safe travels.
Thanks, bye.
Oh man, this is gonna be a good one.
We're back.
We are back. I can't keep up this morning.
I know. But when you catch up with a nice friend, it's good to have them on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everybody listening is going to recognize this voice. That's for sure. Real quick, let's do some self-introductions. And Elaine, I'm going to let you go first. Just name, who you're with. Obviously, everybody's going to know, and what you do.
Ooh, can anybody tell who it is yet?
Yes.
So, Elaine Ball, founder of Elaine Ball Limited, marketing and sales consultancy for the geospatial industry and survey profession, and also co-founder of Get Kids into Survey.
One of our favorites.
Who's the other founder?
Ellie. She helped me with the Get Kids,
Okay. Guess I didn't realize that. Cool. And go ahead.
This is Paola, and now I work with Elaine, marketing and sales specialist with her, and I just started in this industry, which is super crazy. American, raised in Venezuela, live in Spain now, so a little bit from everywhere, so I love it.
Nice. How long have you been in this industry? How long?
2 months.
Oh, all right.
Very new.
great.
I
That's
know,
great.
The outside.
Yeah.
You need a bit of new blood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
An
yeah.
outsider.
Crazy is
For
a
sure.
good way to say it, especially at places like this.
Crazy good. Crazy
yeah,
good.
crazy good. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah, well, it's obvious why you're here because Elaine is running around like a chicken with her head cut
Of
off. I'm
course.
seeing her everywhere.
Yeah.
So you're manning the booth, and Elaine's doing what Elaine does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So how has your experience been so far? This is not your first Intergeo, obviously.
No. I've been coming to Intergeo for about 15 years.
Wow, wow, yeah.
So with MDL days, pre Elaine Ball Limited days, so that was
Yeah.
2012 before that with MDL and the stuff. But because we were mainly mining and hydrography, we didn't really do land survey, so this was more of a fun place to find out what was going on.
Yeah.
But now it's a main thing. I mean, these guys at Intergeo are just fantastic. The support is just amazing.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of friends here.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah.
This is your first time here, though.
It's our
Yes,
first time.
yes.
And how are you guys
Loved
experiencing
it.
it?
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, amazing, amazing.
It's been great.
Welcoming. You've got a big stand as well.
Yeah, great location, right by all the media folks. So this is no complaints whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I got a few things I'll make sure we talk about. So first of all, let's talk about Get Kids Into Survey.
Yep.
Talk about any changes that have taken place. I know there's Get Kids Into Survey West Coast now, of course, with Trent.
Yeah.
And kind of what's the plan with that?
Okay, so I don't know if you saw my interview on Intergeo TV last year. So this time last year, Intergeo. I always, when I say things and I want to do it, I do it. I don't just say it. It's got to be done. But I'm very impatient. So it's like, need to get on with it. So last year I said, right, we're going to franchise it. And I spoke to about 10 people that I knew would be interested, Trent being one of them. Mm-hmm. And that started off, we did like a at Trimble Dimensions, we actually did the photographs like we signed, but we didn't actually officially sign until March because the lawyers get involved and they want to go through all the stuff.
Yeah.
So we launched it, they signed, and now he's flying. So he's launched the first poster for West Coast, so he's taken 13 states. And the whole point of it is it gets it local globally. So that's the common theme that's coming out of all this at the moment. So as he gains traction, so we've got the West Coast, we've got 12 sponsors for that poster. That's going out via XYHT, who have been amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going out to 22,000 people, and also it's getting distributed at Trimble Dimensions this year.
Cool.
Oh, great.
And Trimble's been great. They've given free access to get into Trimble again Dimensions, which is good because it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So brilliant. So I'm really excited. Trent, Heather, Tyler, they've just been ace. Lisa, so really pleased with them and proud actually.
Yeah.
I'm proud to be working alongside Trent. So
I just recently signed up to be a brand ambassador for them.
Yeah.
Which is separate, I guess, from being a brand ambassador.
No, actually it's not.
Is that?
It's still you go on the same map.
It's the same thing. Okay. And Heather was responding to me, so obviously Heather's very involved with this now.
Yes.
Yeah, very
and
cool.
To be honest, I said to Trent, you're the guinea pig. You're the first franchisee.
Right. Yep.
And we've got, Erin's done a fantastic job with the operations manual. That's all it's all online. It's just superb. Mm-hmm. And but they've been great. We've got good communication. We meet every week. Every 2 weeks actually we go through stuff. There's a reporting system and actually it's brilliant. So the next one that's coming on, we've got another one for the States. I'm just hoping, they had a meeting with their big company who owns them the other day, so fingers crossed it gets signed off and they'll they'll be the next one.
Nice. That's exciting. Yeah,
definitely. So, and it's going to be good because the whole point is we can't do things localized at a global scale, so it's like this is the way we're going to do it, and this
the next
will
step.
Scale. And the thing is it's a business model, so it makes money. Because nobody's going to take the franchise on if it doesn't make money. But the great thing about it, and I've talked to loads of people, with Trent and that, the money that he gets, he says, well, it's great because I can do more outreach. I can go to more schools. I can hire someone else to go and do that.
Sure.
So, and when we originally thought about this, we were we spoke to the accountant and the lawyer, should we make it a charity? And he's like, no, just make good money and use that money for a good cause.
Yeah.
So I'm like, survey.
Yeah, it's genius.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and on that note, let's talk about the Marketing Academy a little bit. What's going on there?
Okay, so lockdown was amazing for us. So we do a couple of cool things. So the first thing is I was always trying to find marketing and salespeople for my business at MDL. So I could never find, the only person I could find was Kevin Corbley, who I now do speaking of gigs with. And I had to train lots of people in the world of geospatial and survey. What does the different techniques mean and all this sort of stuff? And I was like, they're charging me a fortune. What the hell's going on here? So we set up Elaine Ball as an agency. So we do lots of agency work. You know, we implement the marketing strategies and all this. And then, of course, I did workshops. So I did a lot of workshops and training on the sales and marketing side. And then lockdown came along. And, of course, for me, it was great because there was no international travel. So I wasn't jet lagged. It was awesome. But everybody was like, Elaine, how do I find customers online? Am I doing something right? Because I'm doing all these posts and I'm doing all this content, but it doesn't work. And at the end of the day, marketing is a process. So it was like, So I started doing all these workshops and I was repeating myself. And I thought, why don't I just put this online in an academy and teach people the how-to? Yep. So we have now 55 students in GMA. And I'm now getting more and more questions from people saying, can you help me with pricing strategies? Can you help me with people development? You know, all the soft skills that are quite difficult as well. But I mean, the success we've had, you'll know Stuart from Dioptra. He's doing really well at the moment with stuff. And he's like, Elaine, oh my God, look at this post. It's gone crazy. And it's all about changing your mindset, getting out of your head and actually thinking about what the customer wants. Sure. Nothing to do with you. Don't sell them a survey. Don't sell them a product, whatever. Just get out of your head and think about them. So, we've had some really good success stories. Storm Geomatics in the UK, Dioptra, you've seen them on YouTube. So this is really cool. Yeah. And so then going back to the pricing stuff, and we have now thinking the next launch is going to be more advanced for business, not just marketing and sales. Yep. So because
it's a natural progression.
Yeah, and they're all linked because if you can have a really good marketing strategy and a plan, but if you haven't got the people to do it, you can't always rely on us. We're only a team of 7, and our subbies, we've got 10 subbies, 8 subbies, whatever we have. And it's like, that's the next stage. So we want to train people so that they can have these people in-house. And the soft skill of people management is hard, as we know. Yeah. That's why we've got Get Kids Survey.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So where does Paola fit into all this?
Paola, do you want to?
Well, my background is in sales. That's how I met Elaine, so that's what I'm helping her with. Just, growing the revenue of the company, going out there, finding new businesses that we can help. I love this because I see the need in the industry of learning about marketing and how to get out there. Sure. And going to get the business, so that's what I'm going to be helping her with. And it's been great so far, 2 months, and it's been great.
So what's the first, what's the first the top 2 things you should always do from a marketing perspective that, what's the thing that you tell people all the time? What's the top 2 things?
Number 1, think about who your best customer is, right? Wouldn't you like more of that type of customer? Profitable, nice to deal with. So understand your buyer. That's your number 1 thing to sort out. The other thing is, especially for surveyors, stop trying to do everything. Says me, who does lots of things.
Right.
Yeah, but you. Yeah. So again, everybody tries to do a bit of everything. Focus on something that you're really, really good at and become really well known about that subject. It's difficult because you're getting, say that you're doing building work and stuff like staking out, setting out in the UK, but it's good money, but then you want to do aerial LiDAR or you want to do something completely different, but that's more profitable. And this is the issue because, which ones do you juggle? Which ones do you go for? And sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith, but start building that momentum. So, that would be my 2 top takeaways.
Okay.
And, you've got, so much to glean from, just from all your experience and everything like that. Now bringing Paola on board, this is heading in a really, really good direction, obviously.
Yeah.
It is.
On the business side, starting to transition into that more, and I'm not sure how it is in the UK, but in the States, surveyors are not good business people.
All over the world are not.
That is true.
Yeah, and there is so much, the market for what you can do there is just massive. Yeah. It's just getting surveyors to admit that they're not good business people, and they need that help.
Yeah, but it's interesting. So GMA and the Geospatial Business Academy, when that's launched, that is do it yourself. But you see, because majority of survey companies are small, they've got to juggle multiple tasks, so that's a time factor issue. But they learn the process, because the process that we share in GMA is the same process we do for our agency. So any clients that we take on board, we follow the same process. So, but also what's really, really interesting is you can tell who's going to do well in business because they're dedicated. So they take GMA on because I'm not there whipping them over the head to get stuff done, or my team. And the ones that do well are doing it. And you can see that's why their business, or the ones that are not doing well are not doing it, and you can see that's why their business is suffering.
Yeah.
Because they don't focus. There's no discipline.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think you nailed it right there.
Right,
The
yeah,
surveyors are so, like, I think for the most part, ADD, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard for them to focus because they're juggling 12 things at any given time. You know, it's just hard to incorporate that discipline and be focused.
They are not taught business. They're taught surveying.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. So they're not
Agreed.
business people. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
To help them with that. Yeah.
Yeah. But you should see my dad. My dad multitasks. I mean, it was funny. The other day, Graham came from our old business. He now works with Carlson Software. And they were just reminiscing. And thank God my dad had Graham, because he made the equipment. He made all the mining stuff and the mobile mappers. And, he designed it. And my dad used to be a bugger for going into the R&D department and like doing stuff. And I used to have my spies to come up because he'd change direction. And I'm like, I know where I get it from now.
Yeah.
So, but that's his mind. He's like, crazy.
Yeah, well, and that's what, makes or allows surveyors to be successful, is the ability to do that, and manage 12 things at once. It's not for everybody, that's
But they
for
do
sure.
say multitasking is not actually a thing. You can't actually do more than one thing at one time. Like you think you're doing more, but you're actually being incredibly inefficient. Your mind cannot actually, you can't say and have two conversations at the same time. You can only do one, and you have to remember that is what they say.
So having conversations with the three people in my head, and this one is not impossible.
That is why you are who you are. So what else are you guys excited about? What do you see going forward? More franchises and get kids, more businesses to help and do great marketing things?
Yeah, so I think the three things that, well, there's four things, because also we haven't talked about the gaming side, but 2 seconds on the gaming. But I think the franchisees, so anybody wherever they are in the world reaching out and let's talk so we can get this moving at a local level. So that's the big thing. We are going to be exhibiting at Geo Week. We're going to have a Get Kids and Survey booth, but we're also going to have an Elaine booth for the first time ever at Geo Week.
Wow,
yeah.
That's amazing.
So we're actually going to go
how are you
out.
going to
Yeah,
be
so
two places at
then
once?
you have to physically be in two places at the same time.
Well, no, because actually the people at Geo Week have actually put us opposite each other.
Oh,
so
nice.
Trent's going to come over. I'll have some team members come over.
Nice.
Paola, Amy. Amy's from Toronto, so she used to work in survey. She's done a lot of work with building point people. So I'm going to bring a brilliant content girl. So awesome content girl. So so that's new. That's really new. We're going to build on that. And I just need to sort of just let it get it into the skin next year and not add anything else new on there too much. I think that's the big
We'll
thing.
keep you accountable for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Someone's got to.
All right, real quick before we wrap up, you said gaming.
Gaming. So again, last year I said on Intergeo TV that I'm going to get it franchised and for Get Kids, and I'm going to get it into Minecraft.
Okay.
And of course, I say what I do what I say. So I managed to get the meeting with them. I had to do a pitch. They are tough. They are tough. I'm a very open person, and I don't need to hide anything. That's my dad's way. We always just say what we think. Sometimes people like it, some people don't.
Sure.
I've already been told a few times by Minecraft I need to not speak too much about it. So, not quite sure why. I think it's just the gaming world is quite secretive because other people steal stuff. So anyways, I can tell you this, that we've got a few things that we need to do. I'm going to get a committee together. So hopefully your listeners, your wonderful listeners, might know a few key people that would like to be on this committee, because we're going to have to raise about 200 grand plus pounds, so maybe 250,000 US more to get it built. But what I want to do is I want to crowdfund it. So I want even just the one-man band survey company down the road, to even put in $1 or €1 or £1.
Sure.
So they add to it. So this is going to be for the survey, because we need to think about the vision of what Get Kids is all about. It's to get it into the lingo. It's get it into the mindset, so people see the branding, people see it, hear it, touch it, all this sort of thing. So game will do it. Now we're speaking to the education department at Minecraft, so it will go in as education that they're going to roll it out in schools. So
that's
Minecraft
amazing.
is going to be in schools. So we have to. So I've got a committee to get organised, and then the second thing is get it built. So they've given me 3 builders to look at, and we will see who's the right fit for us. And they will help me navigate the Minecraft world. But I shouldn't be saying Minecraft. It's gaming. Just say gaming.
Gaming, yes,
Gaming.
the gaming world.
So the gaming world. So I will. So there's going to be a few things, and when I know this is going to happen when I start signing documents with them, I'm going to have to be silent a little bit, aren't I, until we get it launched.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so
It's
exciting.
happening.
We'll take your word that you're going to make it happen, and
I'll
you can't
let you
talk
know.
about it. And
I know.
You'll know. We'll know when you know, and you can tell us.
You can interview me first when it goes live.
I think
Sounds
that
good.
That door cracked open at Dimensions last year, didn't it?
Yeah,
Right?
that's
'Cause I
where
remember
it started.
having that conversation.
That's where it started. Yeah, so
It's exciting.
Chris Keating, Pete Large put me in touch with Orlando. Great name. If he lived in Orlando, that would have been even more funny.
That'd be funny.
So he's helped me. He's a Microsoft guy. He's helped me navigate into Minecraft. And the weirdest thing, when we're trying to set up the meetings, because they're in Seattle, he's actually the main guy. He's actually in Belfast, in Ireland.
Oh, wow.
I was like, how weird. And he's done loads of work with the secondary school curriculum, GCSEs.
Nice.
So, which is a big bonus too. So he loved it.
Nice.
It's awesome. Awesome. How about you, Paul? What are you excited about?
Just working with Elaine, learning the industry. I
Sure.
think I didn't know anything about this industry, geospatial. 2 months, well, a year ago. That's when I met you.
Yeah.
And I see it's very welcoming. Everybody's super nice, and there's a lot of things that can be done here. So I'm excited just to learn more, meet more people. Yeah.
That's great.
Yep. You're in the people industry.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People industry.
Yeah.
All right. Guess that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Appreciate you
guys.
guys coming by. It's been
Love you
awesome.
guys.
Thank
Pleasure
you
as
for having
always.
us.
Good to see you as always.
Yep. Great to meet you, Paula.
Yeah.
Great to meet you guys.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
the club.
Thanks. Thanks. Exciting.
Good job. Thanks.
We've got Ray and Hanno with us, and these guys have been on the show before.
Oh yeah.
And they've been a big supporter. We love these guys. First time we got to meet them in person.
Yeah, yeah. Ray
Which
likes to call himself a Geoholics OG and self-proclaimed Geoholics GOAT. So we will let these guys introduce themselves. Ray, you go first.
Yeah,
Who you are, who you're with, what you do.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, well, I'm the co-founder and owner of APGLOS BV. You know, I was here before. That's why I definitely call myself the OG. It would be my 4th or 5th time. So thank you guys for having us in again. And yeah, we do software, as you know, and we have some great news. But let my partner introduce himself, and then let's talk about all that stuff.
I'm Hanno, and I'm the other founder of APGLOS. I'm doing the development of our software, which is called APGLOS Survey Wizard. And I mean, that's why yesterday I was walking around in a wizard costume.
Yeah. I'm sure by now everyone will see the photo that Kent posted with the Survey Wizard. You are talking to the Survey Wizard.
Yeah, I'm the survey wizard.
That is great.
And to circle back, for those who don't know, these guys are from the Netherlands, and their office is in an actual castle.
Yes.
It is.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
What a cool place that's got to be to go to work every day.
Yeah, well, definitely. I told you guys, once you come back to Holland, let me show you a little bit around in the dungeons.
Oh, my God.
I gotta see the dungeon in the castle. That's
You
just
have to.
yeah. It's on the bucket list now.
And how did you two meet?
That's a good question. This has been a long time, and I then was looking for a job, and he was working in some municipality, and I had to do my job interview with Ray.
Yay! He said, I'm Hanno, and then I said, that's okay.
We'll still take you.
We'll still take you.
He only made one good decision in his life, and that was hiring me.
Box hour.
Well, all good things happened after that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So talk about the software and what it does. What problems is it solving?
Well, actually, it solves a problem that we made land surveying easier. You know, it's like even non-surveyors can use that type of software. just connect, and we can connect with every single brand you have. The software even got the N-trip data, which you actually can fill in inside the software. It's just made easy. If they download it from the iOS store or Android store, they can test it for themselves. They have like 2,500 coins, which they can use to start surveying for themselves. Points, lines, polylines, polygons, stakeouts, everything will be in there, but in the easy way. And 5,200 pre-programmed coordinate systems, which makes it 10 times easier. Yeah,
Wow.
it took, I think, Hanno, it took you about 1 year or 2 years or something, pre-program everything.
We are still in development, but I mean, it's very usable for everyone that wants to land survey.
Sure.
I mean, you don't have to have studied land surveying and still you are able to use it.
Yep. So what can you do with it? Like, can you obviously collect points? Can you stake out points?
You can collect points, lines, polylines, polygons.
Okay.
You can add text as well. And further, you can also stake out the same kind of objects. So you can stake out lines, points, and of course polygons as well. And further, there's like a calculation thing inside the software where you can just calculate, like for example, the area or lines or the amount of points. So you can just calculate and have the answers right away.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. But
When you develop a software like that, and I'm sure you have international users,
Yeah.
do you have to create it in different languages?
Yes. We have to different languages for sure. There's English and Dutch, but here in Intergeo, there were like Japanese people interested.
Yeah.
So Ray stole my phone, put the language in Japanese, and it's even in Japanese. But it took me like half an hour to put the language back.
So what you're saying is it's so intuitive, you can use it in a different language, the app, easier than it is to get your phone back into Dutch.
Yes.
200%.
So who are your typical users?
Everyone that wants to land survey that is not a land surveyor.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
fair enough.
If some of the end customers are like amusement parks, event bureaus, from landscapers to municipalities, but I never knew that so many people uses the land surveying equipment and just also want to do it for themselves.
Sure.
That's yeah.
So it's really good for GIS people, right?
As well, but you also have to think about just the ground workers that
Sure.
for sure are like digging tubes and working like
Utilities.
that, and they have to measure and to give their revision to their clients. So for that, then you don't need the land surveyor anymore because you already have the data.
Sure. And are people putting the software on like data collectors or their cell phones? How does it run?
The apps are in as well the Google Play Store as the App Store of Apple.
Okay.
So they can just download it on their own tablets, on their own phones, and start using it.
And it's free to download?
It's free to download. Only what Ray was saying, you get like 2,500 coins, so you can test the software. And after that, you can work on a time license, or you can work continue working on coins.
And it's APGLOS.
Yes, correct.
Ray, you said something exciting that's happening or is coming up. Is there something you haven't told everybody, or talk about what you're excited about?
Yeah. We partnered up with Bad Elf.
Oh,
We really
awesome.
did.
we love Bad Elf.
Maybe a little bit. So we have the wizard, we have the castle, and now we have the elf. And I think, we've done business before, but now definitely, we signed a contract, the MOU is there. And
Nice.
and in this
Congrats.
case-
That's exciting news.
So
Really
what's
exciting.
the benefit of that partnership? Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, wow. Well, the Flex Mini as well as the Flex itself, it is a certified connection with the iOS. So as we have the app in iOS, it means that we can make a Bluetooth connection easy, but also it opened the door a little bit to the American market.
Oh, great.
Partnering up and seeing if the American market, maybe we have to alter a little bit in the software itself to make it even easier for the American market. And that's why, Bad Elf came. What can I say?
Well, so you can a normal user, just somebody interested in doing some survey, can get some hardware from Bad Elf, connect it to the app, and that's pretty much all they need to hit the ground and go, right?
That's the only thing they need. Yeah.
And that would get them what kind of accuracy?
A centimeter. With an RTK network, centimeter accuracy. Yeah.
Yep. And well, I know the receivers work with just about every network out there. So, it's awesome. What is the business model? You mentioned tokens. How does that work?
There are like different things, but in first of all, we're a software company. APGLOS Survey Wizard is just one of our software packages, and there are like two types of licenses. You can just have a time license for example, a year, or you can work pay per use. So then every function you use in APGLOS Survey Wizard costs like, for example, 10 coins, and that will be deducted. If you're not using it, then nothing will be deducted, and you can, if you want, you can wait for 10 years and start working then with your coins.
Sure. Yep, very cool.
So what else are you guys excited about? What's the next evolution of the software? Is it just keep improving, or what's next for you guys?
We are now busy with some nice things, nice extra functionality, but the next thing is that we want to put some hot sauce on top of the layout of APGLOS Survey Wizard and to make it more spice.
Make it more spice. I like it.
Yeah, maybe you can like a classical version as you can see it now, and then well, I say modern, but he says spicy, but he has to program it. So I myself, I'm even curious about that.
When I'm the main developer, I can just make up my own code.
You can make up your own code names. I love it.
True.
So talk a little bit about some of the challenges, maybe. How long did it take you guys to get to this point, and what kind of lessons learned can you say about starting this from an idea to something you pulled off and been very successful with?
It was definitely an idea. In 2011, we with our company back then, we thought we needed a GPS system. So I invited most of the brands I could find on the internet, and I just forwarded our foremans and some other people that are working for our company, and I said, okay, and demonstrate. And after 2 days, Hanno and myself said, it's I think a little bit complicated for a non-surveyor to start using that kind of software. And then the idea started. We're entrepreneurs, so what do we need to do? And then the idea came and it developed, and in 2017 we still did it on a side job from 2011. In 2017 we said, we're just going to do this. So we fired everybody, sold everything, and we got a castle.
We got a castle.
We got a castle.
Back for it, and we're having absolutely fun. It's really booming business.
Right.
We do the rebranding, the white labeling. We're meeting a lot of nice people, and it's like a roller coaster at the moment.
Crazy.
It's really, really, really nice. And best job I ever had.
I love it. Where did the name of the company come from?
You can tell that.
APGLOS stands for Advanced Positioning Global Software, and we start using the A because if you have an exhibition, you will always be on top.
You always be at the top, yeah.
That's actually why the advanced go, and then the rest just for.
But when you do the coding, it's advanced.
It's advanced, and the coding is advanced. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so you have to simultaneously say it's advanced and super complicated, but super easy to use. So you want to be want to be advanced, but not.
Yeah, the complexity we just polished away. It's still there, but in the background, he knows.
Yeah, that's Hanno's problem.
That's Hanno's problem,
and everyone else benefits.
Definitely, 200%.
Oh man! So how do people find out more?
They can visit our website, www.apglos.eu.
And I mean, there's also like a feature in the software itself. When you first download it and register, and then you log in, you get like a pop-up where there is like, if you want to see like a tutorial, if you click yes, you come to our YouTube channel and you see like a video of Ray and me. And that's very nice because
You're gonna have to talk a little bit more about the YouTube videos that you guys do. I mean, it's gotten a little bit of excitement and activity, I think, right?
Ray doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I can talk about it, but we in like a very easy way we explain a lot of things in land surveying, but also, for example, we built like a GNS receiver from Lego. Can we do like an RTK or a fix with that? And
that was really a problem because we were doing like a drop test with a Lego receiver. So I was standing there and I told them I'm going to drop it at 3. So Ray and my son were going to shoot it with the slow-mo camera. Mm-hmm. So I was counting 1, 2, 3. So I drop it. They both didn't make the shot.
I said, do you want me to drop it at 1, 2, 3 or at 3 or at 1? And then it just dropped it. Okay. No shot. Nothing.
We got a shot of with it, but it's kind of a bit blurry.
Yeah, the YouTube, they should check it out, And me at my age and still thinking maybe a small YouTube star, but why not?
You get recognized in the toilet.
I know. Yes.
Well, when you come to a show like this, everyone's seen the YouTube video. Wherever they may see you, maybe in the toilet, they got to get a picture, right?
They can't control themselves. Oh my God! No, you guys got some great videos, and anybody listening, you got to check out the APGLOS YouTube channel.
Yeah,
it's
just
awesome.
Google APGLOS. You'll get to the app on the whatever store you're on, the website. I mean, it's really cool stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well, thanks, guys. Anything else you want to get out there before we get out?
Just keep following us, and you will be surprised.
Yep.
No
question.
Good deal.
Never a dull moment with these guys.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys for the past few days.
Yep.
Remember last night?
Oh, yeah, it was a blast. It was a blast.
Oh, man. All right, guys. Hey, safe travels.
Remember this morning.
Oh, yes. I remember this morning a little more. Appreciate you guys coming by.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, we're winding down here.
Winding down, getting to the end.
Yep, but I'm excited to have this conversation. We've got Gregor with us.
Yeah.
Gregor, why don't you just do a quick self-introduction, name, who you're with, and kind of what you do.
All right, my name is Gregor Willhauck. I'm a market manager for cloud solutions and geospatial. And my focus is on essentially defining the strategy for where geospatial goes with our cloud solutions.
Well, this is a big topic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
So where is Trimble going with their cloud solutions?
Yeah. So essentially, at the moment, a lot of our solutions are desktop-based, and the data is getting bigger and bigger.
Sure.
The collaboration aspect is a core focus, so we want our relatively complex geospatial data to be available to many users, distributed teams. So a core focus is really getting data into the cloud. That's the first focus we have. And then, based on that, make that available in an easy-to-use environment to as many stakeholders as possible.
So is this in development? You have something kind of ready to roll out, or is it still evolving? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, probably all of the above. So we do have topics in development, certainly, but we also have capabilities and solutions already out there in the field.
Okay.
Maybe to wind back a bit, Trimble's following the strategy that we call connect and scale. So Trimble has a lot of distributed solutions. We are working to bring these together. Focus is on basically user-centric workflows, getting distributed workflows pulled together, data pulled together, and so focused on the user, focused on data, and having basically that enabled through cloud solutions.
Yeah. And what problem is this solving for people?
Yeah. A lot of the issues that people face is the amount of data, being able to manage data, knowing where data is, what the latest or the right data set to work with is, sort of having access to the right data, and then having access to data at the right time, also being able to make decisions fast. And then probably also a big one is the usability aspect, because a lot of our systems and solutions are built for surveyors from a survey perspective, so they become quite complex. But now with that amount of data available, we want to be able to pull in more and more different types of users. So we need more easy-to-use environments.
So do you think there's more of a benefit for the traditional surveyors that are using, or the new, maybe non-surveyors, to make it easier for them?
I don't know if I would say there's one versus the other. I think we enable both of that.
Okay.
So, to give it a name, we've got Trimble Connect as one of the core products that enable our cloud workflows. And it basically functions in a couple of different ways. One is it's used as a CDE, common data environment, which allows us to get data from the field to the office through the cloud and also store data in the cloud. So that enables the traditional surveyor to have data and projects in the field, in the cloud, to be used in the field. So we can pull data down, we can make sure the field worker has the latest design, the latest data set to work with. So that is really targeted at our traditional survey customers.
And it's all updated real time, right? I mean, there's no lag.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, but then that takes away the, okay, come to the office so I can give you the latest calcs and the latest drawings, and then you go out and you collect all the data, and then you got to come back, and then you got to download it, I got to get it from you, and then this is just all in one space.
Exactly.
In real time.
Yeah. And basically, instead of carrying over a USB stick and putting it into the field controller, you can tap into the field controller.
It's
and
just
say,
there.
Yeah, pull the data down. Yeah.
Interesting.
So is it a subscription-based application?
Yeah, Connect is subscription-based, and yeah, basically depends on what kind of model you have. If you've got Trimble Access, you also can get access to Connect through the maintenance that you purchase for Trimble Access. But then we also have subscription-based options.
Gotcha.
And that's more for the, let's say, the other aspect of Connect, because Connect is essentially two things in one. It's a collaboration environment, which is a cloud-based app, and the CDE aspect.
Got it.
The collaboration aspect is the part that's more focused on, let's say, not the traditional surveyor, but maybe more at a survey company or the stakeholders of a survey company, because Connect allows you to bring together BIM data, survey data, reality capture data like scan data, bring all that into a representation of your data and share that with different stakeholders in a pretty easy to use environment.
Awesome. Talk a little bit about your background. How did you get into, how long you've been with Trimble, and how did you get, how did it evolve into where you're in now?
Yeah. So started with Trimble in 2010 and came into Trimble as part of an acquisition. So we worked for a startup in Germany that produced a software called eCognition, which is image analysis or data analysis software. I came to that, my background is actually forestry, so I studied forest science.
All right.
Then I joined Trimble in 2010, worked in that whole range of data analysis, data processing, info, eCognition, photogrammetry for a couple of years. After that, in 2013, I moved over to the US, joined Trimble with the headquarters in Westminster, and also moved over to the hardware side of things. So at that time, focusing on rugged handhelds and looking at the other side of Trimble in a way.
So you really spread out between the back-end software development and the hardware end too. That's a pretty big spread of the industry.
Yeah, and that's pretty neat about Trimble is you can basically open your horizon, work with different groups, and we're dispersed around the world, which is great.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sure. And it's good to have that background too, especially doing what you're doing now, to have a better understanding of why it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it like proprietary to Trimble, or can other equipment users have access to this cloud?
I'm glad you were asking. I didn't mention that. So the Connect and Scale strategy that we follow also is a platform strategy. So it's the clear focus of Trimble is to build an open platform so that all the capabilities and functions that we bring to the cloud are accessible through an API. So development-wise, we're looking at an API-first strategy to then open that up to customers through development environments.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very good. Very good. What are you excited about? Like, as this evolves, like, what's the next phase?
I think at the moment, most excited about the ability to leverage Trimble Connect from a geospatial perspective, because it started out from more the building construction side of things with BIM collaboration. Now we're more and more bringing survey data into that, and we also see the effect of Connect and Scale at Trimble, because Connect, from a surveyor perspective, is probably not well known, but we actually have 30 million users active in that system. Yeah,
that is that's crazy.
That is crazy. Wow.
So it's a stable solution that's out there.
Sure, yeah.
And now we can leverage it to bring our expertise, our data into that established environment, and basically leverage it to expand, to get survey data out into the hands of more subject matter experts, like an electrician needing to know how much whatever cable he needs to install something.
Sure.
Along those lines.
And I just think immediately on, like, when you get into machine control in the construction industry, and there's usually somebody that needs to come and set it all up. But if this is now cloud-based, and you can, like you said, have that collaboration aspect, then the engineering group can actually. It's all, and it goes straight into design changes and everything else. I mean, man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So this cloud everybody's talking about, is it just limitless amounts of storage? There's got to be a limit, because there's like servers somewhere, right?
Yeah, but then you're getting into we talked about this once, the names of bytes that you don't know, no one else knows. That's really bad, like millions past tera or whatever those ones are.
Yeah.
So from our perspective, it is sort of limitless, because if you compare it to the traditional methods where our customers would stack hard disks and ship hard disks around from whatever Dayton to North Carolina or something, the cloud offers you much more storage than that, and we need it, because looking at how many petabyte of data our scanners are producing, you need that amount of storage. Really,
petabytes. That's the one after Tera, right?
Yeah.
And now we're in that, where that's a common term now, is that we're in that at that level.
Yeah. And the cost of storage has come down.
Oh, sure,
It used to be outrageous.
And the other aspect that we're looking at is not only, let's say, focusing on the storage aspect, but making the data also accessible. That's an important aspect, because if you store it in the cloud, it's one thing. Let's say upload the last file, download the last file.
Right.
That would be your Dropbox type model.
Yeah, sure.
What we need to do is add a bit of smarts from a geospatial perspective to then make that data accessible, so you can actually find the right data set in the cloud, work with the data set. So that's a big focus that we have at the moment.
Sure.
Yeah, because
good point.
Anybody can just throw it up there, but if only one guy can get it back, then it kind of defeats the purpose, right?
Yeah, exactly. What else? Got anything else you want to get out there?
Just trying to think. Yeah, I mean, the other aspect is that whole streamlined workflow.
Talk about that a little bit.
Because we're leveraging Trimble Connect to make it easier in the cloud or from an office computer to, let's say, define data for the field, so that when you're in the field, you don't have to sort through a digital model and identify what are the objects I need to, or the model objects I need to stake out, for example. You can tap into the cloud, create only certain groups, download that or access that, filter it out, and then work only on that data. So,
and you're saying that can happen all in the field?
Yeah. So you have access, Trimble Access, our field software, has access to the Connect backbone or database, and access to some of the graphical user interface elements, essentially, so we can leverage that capability of organizing data and then visualizing only that organized aspect or that filtered out aspect.
Great. Good stuff.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. Good to meet you.
Yeah, Gregor, thanks for stopping by. Enjoy what's left of the show.
Yep. Safe travels.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
And we're back. Oh, man, we got a couple of good guys here that I'm really excited to talk to this morning. This may be our last interview before we hit the road.
Last of the day.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yep. And, I'm excited as well.
That's been a good 3 days, I can say that.
3 days for sure. So let's end it on a high note here.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Yeah, sounds
Perfect.
good.
So we've got Alex and Mike with us, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Alex, if you'd like to go first.
Yeah, Alex Paulusson from AMKVO. We're a drone, robot, and underwater solutions provider.
Cool.
So we deliver all kinds of systems and sensors to corporate government clients.
Did you say underwater?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And where are you based?
In Stockholm.
Stockholm,
Sweden.
cool. Awesome. And Mike, how about you?
Mike Workman. I'm the sales director for Emesent in EMEA. My role is to obviously look after the business of the EMEA region, bring on new resellers, work with our existing resellers, and just grow our name and within the region.
Yeah. How long have you been with Emesent?
2 years now.
2 years.
2 years, which is quite a long time considering we started in 2018. So we're still a startup or semi-startup.
Yeah. So were you in the industry prior to that?
Yeah, prior to that, I've worked for a few other manufacturers. I worked for Louca, I worked for Geospatial for a small time as well.
Okay.
And then prior to that, I was actually from the industry, so I've been a doer, as I call it.
Sure.
I used to be a chief surveyor for a company called Morgan, so I looked after some running tunnels at Heathrow, etc.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So what do you love about Emesent?
What I love about it is what we do. Is the passion for me is the autonomy side of things, and what we're driving, what we're pushing forward. The industry is heading this way. The autonomous solutions that we offer. Every time I see our system, especially fly below ground, I'm like, oh wow, it's back.
Cool.
Whoa, this is awesome.
Yeah. And what's your relationship with Alex then?
So I look after. Well, I look after Alex.
Nice.
Look after Alex. Yeah. So I came on board. Alex was obviously on before I joined.
Okay.
So we built that relationship up. I'm here to support Alex really and help him succeed in his business. That's my primary role.
Yeah. And you've had a lot of experience using the Emesent technologies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about that a little bit, and kind of the applications that you had success with.
Yeah. So I've done about 28,000 drone flights.
Wow.
Started flying underground in 2015, and underground environments is the worst place you can fly in. There's dust, dark, water, all kinds of things that you don't want to fly in. And we were doing photogrammetry and shafts and crashing a lot, so we needed to find a system that could fly in these environments. And the hover map that Emesent builds is incredible.
Yeah.
I've flown about 1,000 flights underground, and I've crashed once.
No, wow.
So, I mean, it works.
Yeah.
And we have clients using it every single day. Do hundreds of scans a week.
Yeah.
That's super impressive.
Sure. So it sounds like it was a game changer. I mean, what problems did Emesent solve with this?
Getting into areas that you can't access otherwise. These are dangerous areas. You can't send in people. Previously, you'd either leave it and just go somewhere else because you can't enter, or you send in large mining equipment. Sometimes that doesn't work. Now you can enter these areas, get an idea of what it looks like. You can calculate structures and a lot of things around that, and get a complete different view of your mine.
Yeah. And the hover map or the Emesent, like the unit or whatever, is so flexible. There's so many different things you can do with it.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I really love about the hover map. I mean, you have laser systems from all kinds of providers, but the versatility of the hover map is amazing. You can use it on the drone, pop it off, walk around with it, put it on a backpack, put it on a car, lower it down a shaft.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, just however creative you want to, you can be with it, within reason, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want to add to that, Mike?
I think that what Alex has said is 100%. We started in the mine environment.
Yeah.
And the idea was, it's our customers that have driven where we've gone as a direction as a company. Obviously fully autonomous, and then people are saying, I want to use this above ground, I want to do volumetrics with it, I want to do conveyor scans, I want to do X, Y, Z, and they push the boundaries, and that's what's driven us from a dominance in the mining space into other spaces now, into the AEC space, where we're testing, not testing the water, we're proving that we have a system that is capable in every environment, really.
Yeah. So you got to get pretty excited when you see, your customers using it for these various things, and they come to you like, oh my gosh, we used it for this application. What are some examples of that?
The first one that was a game changer was we had a mining customer that have ore passes where they drop down ore to the lower level before they bring it up above ground. And these ore passes break because the iron ore is heavier than the rock, so they break and become huge. And previously they repair these by filling them with concrete. And before, they had no idea about the volumes of these, so they would estimate, and to plan the concrete filling is extremely hard when you don't know how much concrete you need.
Yeah.
So now they can do volume calculations of these and know exactly how much concrete they need and plan accordingly and know exactly when that shaft is able to be operational again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's amazing what they can do with it.
Yeah, and from a safety perspective as well, right?
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like you said, allowing you to access some of these areas before that maybe were too dangerous to go into or whatever. So yeah, total game changer. That's exciting.
Very much so, yeah. Alex is also a reseller for Boston Dynamics.
Okay.
We're working to fully autonomize that solution as well.
Yep.
Yesterday we demoed an AL3 or a full autonomous solution, which was called Tap to Walk, which was, for me personally, I couldn't believe what it's capable of doing. It's awesome.
Talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, when you say tap to walk, what
does that mean? We weren't there, unfortunately, to see it, but I wish I was.
So Boston Dynamics solution, obviously Spot is controlled from remote control. That's awesome, but you've got to be within a certain range of the. And Alex is the expert, so prompt me if I'm going wrong. So you've got to be within a certain range to actually control the unit. What we are doing is, whilst we can fly a drone, we're limited in our time of flight from batteries. So the next evolution for us is to take that autonomy and pop it onto Spot, the Boston Dynamics, and increase the range of what we can go. Also, we can reduce the size of the width of the mines that we need to get into more challenging environments that Spot can approach. So the future for us is awesome. Really.
Yeah,
really good.
So cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome to watch as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we see those things walking around here all day long.
Oh yeah. I love that now they have different sized dogs. It's amazing. And we were talking with Stefan about the ability to put the Emesent product just right on top and it just goes, and it seems like an amazing combination.
It is fantastic.
Yeah. So what are you excited about next?
Obviously the evolution onto Spot, more autonomy from us. We're going to get faster, we're going to get smaller, we're going to get lighter, and hopefully the industry will change towards the autonomous data collection. That's the exciting future, I think, for everybody.
Yeah. How about you, Alex? What are you excited about?
The autonomy for sure. Now we can fly beyond communications range, beyond visual line of sight, in underground environments or any environment, but taking that to the next level of removing more and more of input from the operator. So leaving the hover map to do more and more decision making on its own.
Artificial intelligence.
Absolutely.
Yep. What do you got, buddy?
I don't know. My mind's blown, man. It's been 3 days of just the most amazing conversations, especially guys like this that are really doing some really great stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else you guys want to get out there?
No, nothing at all. All good, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, appreciate you guys stopping by. It's awesome.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for coming.
Take care.